Hi everyone, it's Jeannie, and today I'm sharing a quick and easy scene card using LDRS Creative's Puddle Jumpers along with two stencils called Coming Up Daisies and Rainy Day. So I've gone ahead and stamped out the cute girl image on a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I've stamped out a second image on LDRS Creative's masking paper. And masking off this image will help us create an easy scene behind the little girl. And for the smaller raindrops, I definitely did not cut them out. So I'm using a little brush and some drawing gum that will help me mask off the smaller areas. And since the area is really small, this dried up pretty quickly and I was ready to go ahead and create my scene. So I'm adding that mask to my card panel. And this masking tape is really cool because it's very thick and so I can use it multiple times. So I'm just making sure the masking paper is down on the card and we're ready to go. So first off, I wanted to create the ground under where she'll be standing, and it's just going to be a grassy area. So I'm using distress inks for the rest of the background, and this makes it super easy. I'm using a piece of post-it tape to mask off the bottom part, and I'm using distress inks to create the grass area. And I'm just using a mixture of mowed lawn and twisted citron, and I believe I use also pine needles. I'll have all the colors that I use listed down below, but I'm doing this on Bristol Smooth paper and it really helps the blending process. And I know that I don't go in with a super heavy hand at first, but I like to saturate the paper with ink and then keep building up the color. And as I build up, the darker it gets and the easier it is to blend. So originally, I was going to use with the stencils for this grassy effect, but I went ahead and just masked this off because I wanted to focus on the little fence that's in one of the stencil sets. So for the background, since it's kind of a April showers image, I know it's May, but it's actually still raining where I live. It's super weird, and I can't wait for summer to finally show up. But to go with the little image, I decided to do a stormy background. So I'm using a variety of blues, and I'm keeping the lighter blues towards the bottom and the darker blues at the corners. And I'll even go in with a little black soot on the sides of the card panel just to darken it up so it looks a little bit more stormy. And I really like that effect. So for the stencil, I'm using Coming Up Daisies, and it has this super cool fence. And the best part about distress inks is that it can totally layer over. So even though I did that background in blue, I'm going ahead and layering over with brown. And it works really, really well to add the color to it. And it doesn't look blue at all. So I created a quick scene and it was super easy to do. So for the rainy day stencil, it comes with these little watermarks, little teardrops, and I'm going in with a baby wipe and just rubbing the baby wipe on it, and then it picks up the color. And it's not a super strong effect, but I think it looks perfect where it's like about to rain or it's starting to rain. And that's it for the scene. So I created an awesome scene just using a little masking paper and a stencil, and it created this like stormy little background for the little girl. So I'm just going to go ahead and color her really quickly using some Copic markers. And as with the distress inks, I'll have all the colors listed down below. I wanted to have her pop, so I used some yellows, and I always think of the Morton Salt Girl when I happen to color girls with umbrellas, and I don't know why, but every time I do it, like, I don't really think about it. I just color it, and then I look at the card after, and I'm just like, wait, it's the Morton Salt Girl. And so I don't know what it is, but yellow seems to be a great color for any little girl carrying an umbrella, apparently. So I just went with it, and I went with some teal colors because I really like how teal and yellow look together. Personally, I prefer pink and teal, but that's just me. But for coloring, I always tend to go towards yellow because I like an image to pop on a dark background. And since I'm making it kind of stormy and I use darker greens as well, the yellow really pops against that. But I think that the stencil that's in this set is awesome just because it created a scene so quickly, and all I needed to do was use some distress inks, and that was it. So I'm keeping with the same color scheme. I'm going with the yellow and the teal. And I'm coloring in some grays. And so for me, I have a difficulty not making everything matchy matchy. So I tend to use the same colors throughout the card just so it's cohesive. And when I get stuck with a certain area that needs to be colored, I always tend to go with gray, and that usually works pretty well. So for the grassy area, I'm just going in with a Copic marker and drawing out little blades of grass. And this is basically my card. I'm just going to add a sentiment in it. And this set is a larger stamp set and it comes with tons of little images. But I definitely focused in on the little girl. And I'm loving the font for the sentiments as well. It's like cursive and it's just really, really pretty, and then they're also very, very delicate. So for this card, I use three words and it creates this full sentence, and I decided to place it up on top because I really didn't want to stamp and heat emboss this and have it not stand out on top of the stencil. So I just went ahead and did it up in the sky. And since I am using white embossing powder for this, I wanted to tie in some of the white because there's not much white on this card at all. So I end up trimming at the bottom of this card panel, and I'll mat it on top of card panel where the white strips will be on top and bottom. And I think that really ties in the whole thing together. So once I trim that card panel down just a quarter of an inch, I'll mat it on a card panel, and I think that it ends up looking really good. So this card is super simple and easy. I just use a little distress ink to help create a scene with the stencils and a little masking tape so the little girl can be colored in. And I think that this is really cute. It's a little off season, but I think that it still works, especially since it's still raining where I am. So hopefully it stops soon. Anyway, thanks for stopping by today, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.